Well, welcome. We're going to be talking today about how you can build your social media presence for targeted and tangible results. And there is 5 key areas that I'm going to be covering for you very quickly. We're going to talk about the benefits of social media, what it can really do for your business, for your organization. We're also going to talk about some very tangible results that people are seeing because they're leveraging social media in the right way. And you can have these results too. We're going to talk about the social media process. It's easier than you think. And we're going to talk about the big 5 social media components that you need to be aware of. And then I'm going to give you a 10-step action plan so you can actually get started and get all these awesome results. So, the first thing that I really like to talk about is what social media is in general, because people get really overwhelmed by this topic. They think it's a big, scary, overwhelming, confusing situation. And bottom line, it's pretty straightforward. It's simple tools that help you do something you've been doing all along. What you've been doing is making sure that you are sharing stuff that you're interested in with other people who have similar interests. So it's really about your organization and your members talking to other people about things that interest you and interest them. You know, one of the things that I like to talk about is the 4 results that anybody is looking for from what they're doing. Okay, the 4 results. And the first one that most people talk about is revenue. I need money. I need butts in seats. I need members. I want revenue. That's the first thing they always think of. It's the knee-jerk response. The second thing that they say they want is their reputation. You know, once my business is really thriving, once I've got 1 million members, well then everybody's going to know who I am. My reputation's going to be awesome. And then once my reputation's there, I'll be able to have great relationships with some of these people that are so impressive to me. Some of the people I really want to connect with. I'll have these awesome relationships. And then when you really push them, and you pry and you prod and you tease out of them what that will look like, what the experience will be, what they want is a rewarding experience. So how do you get those 4 results? Where do you start? You start with the rewarding experience. When you have a rewarding experience, the right people show up to have those awesome relationships. And guess what? You don't own your reputation. The people who know you and care about you own your reputation, and they're the ones who spread the word about you, not you. And when you've got an awesome, rewarding experience, fabulous relationships, and a great reputation, guess what? The revenue takes care of itself. It's not something you have to worry about. So the beautiful thing about social media, and why I am so passionate about this, is because it makes it really easy for you to enhance the experience that you provide to your members, your volunteers, your sponsors, your vendors. And it's so easy. It's really fun. So let's look at some of the benefits of social media. Well, first and foremost, it allows you to communicate your values, your vision, and your purpose. And this is vital, because this is where people get you. This is where people understand who you are and get what you're about, and they want to connect with you. And if you're not communicating this well, they don't understand how you're relevant. And you can't have a relationship if you're not relevant. So make sure that you're sharing your vision, values, and purpose. It's a great thing to do on social media. It's also really useful because you can quickly identify what your members want most. You'll know because it's what they're commenting on. It's what they're talking about. It's what they respond to from your videos and your posts and your social media information. So just by watching the response that you get very clear insight into what people want more of. You also can discover the latest trends. The beautiful thing is right now we're in the collaboration economy, and you are rewarded for making it easy for people to participate and support you. Go figure. You're not on your own anymore. You're not supposed to do this all by yourself. You're actually supposed to facilitate an experience for a lot of different people so they can benefit, and guess what? You benefit at the same time. How nice is that? So when you create a forum that allows your members to share their best practices, their success strategies, and their proven resources, your organization benefits too. You also have the opportunity to connect with industry notables and attract new members. Now notice I did not say celebrities. I said industry notables, and I said that for a reason. One of the reasons is that your members are going to be attracted to other members like them who are experiencing phenomenal success. So when you can take a member who's growing leaps and bounds, and they can express how that's working for them, all of a sudden the other members go, wow, I clearly need to be a part of this organization because look at what people just like me are able to experience. I need to be a part of this. So just by connecting with other industry notables, you have a great opportunity to grow and attract more members. You also can create very rewarding alliance relationships, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. But there are so many tangible results from social media, I had to narrow it down somehow, and I'm very passionate about the role of social video. I'm not talking about viral video. Viral video is stupid pet tricks and dumb dancing in retail establishments and stuff, and not viral video. I'm talking about social video. Social video is video that, sure, it's entertaining because you're you, and we're interested in you. But it's also informative. It's talking about a specific issue or challenge or problem, and it's sharing ideas and benefits. So I'm really passionate about this, and I'm working closely with WIPP on developing our protocol around how to facilitate social video between our members. And I'm trying to talk really fast. So I have a few key takeaways and tangible results from social video. And this isn't everything that's out there, but this is what's possible. So say you've got a landing page, right? And you've got video on the landing page, and you've got a little bit of text describing what's going on, and then you've got a button for click here to get more information. Well, when you've got a video on that page, instead of just the text with the click here, it increases your click-through rates by 30 to 40%. Now just add a phone number next to that click here and video, and you get 16 to 20% more phone calls. Sweet. How about 53 times more likely to be on the first page of Google search results when you've got video on the page? That's kind of nice to know. How about increasing your click-through rates, almost doubling your click-through rates, 96% increase when you have video on the page? Well, OnlineShoes.com, an online retailer, discovered that shoppers are 45% more likely to buy when they can see a video of the product first. And guess what? You're a product too. People want to get a feel for your organization. They want to get a feel for who is a member at your organization. They want to get to know you and understand your vision, your values, your purpose, so they can connect with you. When they feel like they know you, then they're willing to get more involved. And video is a great way to communicate that because you have the visual impact. You have the sight, sound, motion of what you're talking about. So it's really powerful. Press releases, 500% increase in views if they include video components. That's kind of a no-brainer because you know what? Reporters are so busy. They don't have a lot of time. They've got to turn around the story on a dime. So much easier for them if there's some video that they can pull from and edit into their story. It makes life a whole lot easier. So of course, those are the press releases that are going to get primary attention. Having a video on a landing page, I love this stat, even if nobody watches the video, just having it on the page increases conversion rates by 10 to 30%. And there's a really good reason for that. There's a great book out there by Paco Underhill called Why We Buy. And in the book, he indicated that shopper conversion increases 50% just by having the shopper have a conversation with somebody in the store, the retailer in the store. And you as an organization, you are the retailer for your members. If you can just have a conversation with them, you significantly increase the likelihood that they'll want to engage at a deeper level and increase retention rates. Huge, huge on social media. This is all very possible with social media. So why should you do this? Because people want to know what you're doing. They really do. 90% of people want to know what you're doing. Because 10% of people, some very interesting studies done, but any topic out there, 10% of people are natural leaders. They are looking for the latest best practices, strategies, techniques, tools, and resources. And they are always looking for other leaders because we're in such short supply. 80% of people are followers. They know they don't know what to do, but they know somebody does. So they're going to actively look for somebody who can help them get it done, right? So that's the 90%. I know you're dying to know what the remaining 10% is doing. They're freaking out, they're panicking, and they're so wigged out that they don't even remember that there are people who want to help them. Hello? And guess what? We all go through these stages at different times on different subjects. So I'm not throwing stones, I'm not casting stones, but if you ever find yourself in a state of freaking out and panic, step back, take a deep breath, and decide to be a follower, because there are people who are more than happy to help you. People are getting involved with you because they're actively looking for new strategies, best practices, innovative tools and services, resources. They want case studies and examples to be able to express the value more clearly to their constituents. They're looking for a supportive community just like yours. And especially importantly, they're looking for public recognition. What they want is you. So how about we give it to them? Again, everything starts with a rewarding experience. So I want to show you how that builds out. At the center of everything is how you're solving problems. It's not so much about you, it's through you. Okay? So it's not about your company, it's not about your product, it's not about your organization. It's about the problems you solve for people who participate with you. I'll explain a little bit more about that later. Okay, so it starts with the problem and frankly, how you make people feel. They want to feel confident. They don't want to be panicking about their problem. They want to feel like they've got some good options, some good solutions, and that you're the person who can help them figure it out. So it starts by sharing some specifics. It's not writing War and Peace. When it comes to social media, it's about very targeted information. So you want to talk to a specific audience about a specific topic. And it's going to be a very brief snippet and insight into that topic. So don't worry about it. It's not like you have to write an entire tome. You just want to share one little tiny perspective and insight at a time. And that's really important because when somebody's absorbing information, they use their primitive brain. And the primitive brain can't take a lot of detail. It's got to be simple, it's got to be short, it's got to be what I like to call tight, tangible, and titillating. And the way you make it titillating is you get them involved. Because when it's about them, it's way more interesting than when it's about you. So the way you do that is you incite response. You include things like polls and surveys. You ask questions. You talk about certain resources that you've discovered, and has anybody used this before? What was your experience like? Are there other resources you've identified that do a better job or the same sort of thing? So getting people to have that dialogue, again, starting the dialogue increases your results 50%. So it's really important when somebody does have a dialogue with you, when they do comment on your social media site, that you go to the next step and you respond. You respond with some kind of comment about what they just talked about, and you add more value to their experience. They feel heard, they feel valued, they feel special, because you noticed. I made a comment on what you were doing, and you actually noticed me, and I got the public recognition that's such an important part of why I got involved with your organization to begin with. So it's very important that you make sure that you respond when people do interact with you. And of course, take the time to connect with people. Social media is so pervasive that you can probably identify key people that you would really like to partner with as an alliance partner. Maybe it's someone that you'd like to connect with as a sponsor. Maybe it's new member potential. Maybe it's a great vendor that you're looking for. But they're all online. They're all on social media, and they'd love to hear from you. It's very flattering to be contacted. So don't hesitate and don't worry about getting in touch with people. Just take advantage of the resources that are there. I know this looks a little confusing, but it's not that bad. There are 5 big components to the social media stream. And it starts at the center with your blog. Now think about your blog as your newspaper or your newsletter, and it's just one little 500-word article at a time. It's not a huge, overwhelming task. It's one brief little article. And one of the easiest things to do is have somebody call you on the phone, ask you a question, and you answer it, and record it, and transcribe it, and post it, and you're done. It's pretty simple. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed by this. It's pretty straightforward. So it starts with your blog, and that's your newspaper. Twitter is like a billboard. You only have 140 characters, and on a billboard, the average rule of thumb is between 8 and 12 words. So you don't have a lot of room, you can't say a great deal. Then Facebook, imagine that's like People magazine. There's a lot of personality, there's a lot of informality, it's more fun and casual. There's still a lot of business that happens on Facebook because people are tired of being stressed out around work. They'd like to have fun for a change, and you can be a part of that fun. YouTube is your TV channel. So, in fact, yes, I forgot that I put these in here. So that's People magazine. and that's your TV channel. So now you can actually have an ongoing series all on your own. You don't have to wait until CNN picks up what you're doing. You can actually video what's going on and let people know. Because in case they happen to unfortunately miss, because we're completely full in the room here, and I should definitely pan the room, and there aren't enough seats for everybody here, but there's obviously a lot of people who are going to wish they've been able to be here. And when you capture it on video, they can be. LinkedIn is like a professional journal. This is an opportunity for you to network peer-to-peer, and it's a great place to pick up additional ideas, tips, tactics, strategies. So just to give you a little bit more clarity about how that works and what to say in these different areas, your blog is really your story about why you do what you do. It's about what it means that you're doing this, right? So again, it's your vision, values, purpose. YouTube is talking about what you've discovered that's working really well, what you're excited about, what you think is really making a difference. LinkedIn is the backstory about how things work and why you do what you do. It's more of a peer-to-peer conversation. So you need to get feedback from other pros and be willing to share best practices. Now Facebook, again, it's the People magazine. So it's all about personality. People are going to connect with you because of who you are and how they feel about you and how you make them feel. So you want to use pictures and video and attitude. Leverage that personality that you have. And every organization, every company, every product has a personality. Make it fun, make it engaging, and make it interactive. That's really what it's all about. Now, Twitter is more stream of consciousness about what you're doing in the moment and what it means to the viewer. And one of the common tactics that you'll see on Twitter is something like a contest. A contest has 3 simple components. It's time-bound, so there's a time limit. There is an outcome that you want somebody to do. They have to take a certain action. And there's a prize. There's a benefit for them at the end. So an example of that might be a sandwich shop, where they're going to do a special sandwich this time for lunch, and the first 50 people, who use the secret password can get the sandwich at a discounted price between 11:30 and 1. So there are different ways that you turn what you're doing into a game. You make it fun for people. It's about getting something accomplished, solving their problem, they want lunch, and creating a rewarding experience. Those are the 2 things that people want most. Okay. 10-step action plan. Woo! So let's make you incredibly successful online. And probably a lot of you already have a social media presence. Could I get a show of hands on how many people are there? Great, that's wonderful. Now, even if you've already done this, it's a really good idea to go back and revisit it again, because you'll be amazed at the difference you're going to get in your results if you start here. The first thing that you do is develop a persona of your ideal member, because when you're on social media, you're not talking to the world, you're talking to one special, wonderful person that you care very much about. And you know them. You know their age, you know their income level, you know their kids, you know where they shop, you know what they do, and you know them by name. And you make up this persona, and that's who you talk to whenever you are working on your social media. Because as a recipient, I feel like you're talking to me, and I'm special, and you care, and you're really interested in helping me solve my problem and making sure that I have a rewarding experience. So develop a persona for your ideal member. Then identify the 10 keywords that your members are using, that your clients are using to describe their problem. Not how you describe it, how they describe it. And often there's a distinct difference. You also want to create 10 frequently asked questions and answer them. And you should create 10 should ask questions and answer them. Now, the difference between frequently asked questions and should ask questions, frequently asked questions are usually all about you. Here's who we are, here's what we do, here's when we meet, here's, it's the date, time, location, products that we offer, blah, 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 how you get customer service. It's all about you. Frequently asked questions is all about you. Should ask questions are all about your prospective member or client. It sets their expectations on the kinds of outcomes that you deliver, and it also lets them know what kind of a commitment level you expect from them if they're going to be aligned with you and working with you. So they're very powerful because should ask questions help you qualify your audience. And when you're bringing in really top-notch people as volunteers, as participants in your organization, the overall quality of your organization rises exponentially. So don't be afraid to qualify people. You'll actually grow a lot faster when you do. Then the next step is to start identifying where your ideal members hang out. Are they all over LinkedIn and they're not really spending a lot of their time or not looking for information on Facebook? Well, you probably should still have a presence on Facebook, but it might give you some indicators on where you're going to spend the majority of your time. The fifth thing you want to do is decide how you're going to interact. Are you going to do a lot of video? I highly recommend it. And are you going to use photos? Are you going to do a lot of wall posts? How often do you want to get your blog out there and post? I also really recommend that you have an editorial calendar, because you actually solve a lot of problems for your members, for your prospects, and you serve many different audiences. So you can approach the same situation from different angles based on who your audience is, right? So what if you took a different topic each month and you leverage that topic from different perspectives, and you also, of course, apply it across all of your social media stream? But when you create an editorial calendar and you write it down, and this is huge, a lot of people don't realize this, but just having a plan written down, even when you know it's going to change, will increase your results by 30%. Write it down, 30% difference. So after you've got your editorial calendar together, set up your blog and establish your keyword-rich social media profiles. And if you already have your social media profiles, you might want to revisit the keywords that you're using and look at refreshing it and updating it periodically. Then identify different people that you want to follow, who you want to watch. Watch them for a while. Get a feel for their style and their allocation of what they're saying. There's a certain ratio that different people do on how many resource comments or top 10 lists they do versus, you know, talking about favorite books that they read, whatever it is. Get a feel for their style and then comment on what they're doing. People are desperate for comments on their social media stuff. They want to know what's working. They want to know what's interesting. So when you take the time to comment, it creates more of a bond. Now, even if you haven't been following somebody, it's great to introduce yourself to people and make sure that you're providing a benefit to them in connecting with you. We're all busy, right? And I'm sorry, but how many of you really have a deep personal relationship with all of your friends on Facebook? Nobody does. Because you can only really know about 150 people. But you want to be able to support way more than 150 people. So when you provide a clear benefit of the outcome that they can receive by connecting with you, it makes it much more likely that they will. Now, you also want to create a regular process for your social media. It's not like something that happens once. It's not like being born and then you're done. It's more like breathing. You know, if you really want to be successful, it's something that has to happen on an ongoing basis, regularly. So you need to look at your schedule, you need to look at how you want to interact with your audience and create an ongoing process so that you keep that presence steady. And lastly, you need to make sure that you're responding to comments and that you're making very targeted comments. So for example, if you wanted to reach out to women impacting public policy, you'd probably want to be monitoring our blog and making some comments on some of our posts. And that's really powerful because we're paying attention to the people who are commenting on what we're doing, right? We want to know you. We want to get more insight and serve you in a better way. So it's a great way to establish that relationship. And it's better if you're not doing comments like, wow, great post. You know, it's really helpful if you provide some valuable information. It goes a little bit beyond that. So you're enhancing the experience because it's all about creating a rewarding experience. Now, I also want to encourage everybody in this room to create what I call a social alliance network. So you're identifying other organizations, other businesses that serve a similar target audience, but in different ways. And when you have this social alliance network, you're paying attention to each other's blogs, you're commenting periodically on each other's walls, you're actively supporting each other. And the value there is that it increases your profile for all of you. And as you speak, you develop a bigger footprint because everything that's online stays online. And it's like a giant game of Twister. You want to occupy as many different places as you can and take up the whole board so that everybody can find you really easily. So the more you can focus in on a key audience and you target regularly and comment, that's key. And of course, you want people to do the 5 social behaviors. First and foremost, they've got to connect with you. If they aren't following you on Twitter, they're not going to see your posts, your tweets. Sorry, I should use the right lingo. So get them to connect with you. Then get them to comment. You really want people to talk about what they found that was useful that you're talking about. So it's great to ask questions. Get people to comment. Then you want them to share. If you did a great video and you think this could benefit a lot of people, please share this. I'd love to have you share this with a lot of people, and obviously we're going to make this video available to everybody here in this room. And if there are other people that couldn't make it today, please share the video. We'd really appreciate it. The fourth thing that you want people to do is endorse what you're doing. You want them to talk about what's working and why it was so powerful. They came to your annual event because it does this in the community, and they're so committed to that outcome. You want people to talk about what you're doing that's working, that's right. Those are endorsements. And lastly, you want them to act in some way. If you've got an organization, you might want them to join, or you might want them to volunteer. If you've got a company, you might want them to buy. So there's lots of different actions that you might want people to take, but the 5 actions again are connect, comment, share, endorse, and act. Okay? Okay, we are done. But I had to go through a lot of things in a very short period of time, and I am sure you've got questions, so please contact me. I definitely want to be a resource to help you experience great success in your social media. And I went very briefly over the 10 steps. Anybody who wants more information, give me your business card. I'm going to be here for the rest of the event. I'd be happy to provide you with additional information, and here's how you can reach me. Thank you.